What is Peaky Blinders Mastermind? Y'all already know. My kink in life is movie tie-in games, TV tie-in games, just tie-in games in general. I've reviewed and done retrospectives on several of them, from Batman Begins on the PlayStation 2 to the Never-Ending Story for Commodore 64. Tie-in games are my bread and butter, and Peaky Blinders Mastermind fits that perfectly. Witness the rise of Tommy Shelby as the true leader of the Peaky Blinders in the 20th century Birmingham. Use Tommy's prowess for planning to set up and execute complex scenarios. Take control of Tommy himself, Arthur, Polly, and many more from the hit show as they pull off one dastardly mission after the other. Peaky Blinders Mastermind was developed by Future Labs, a studio in, correct me if I'm wrong, East Sussex, United Kingdom. The studio has been around for about 15 years, making games for consoles and handhelds alike. From Velocity to Velocity 2 to Mini Mech Mayhem, now finally their newest game, Peaky Blinders Mastermind. Additionally, the game was published by Digital Curve, who are known for some hidden gems like Human Fall Flat, The Flame in the Flood, Serial Cleaner, and a ton of other games. For those who may not know, Peaky Blinders is a Roma origin gangster family epic set in Birmingham, England, months after the end of the First World War in November 1918. The story centers around the aforementioned gang and their ambitious and highly cunning boss, Tommy Shelby, played by the underrated and highly talented Cillian Murphy. In the first season, the gang comes to the attention of Major Chester Campbell, played by Sam Neill, everybody's favorite paleontologist. He plays a detective chief inspector in the Royal Irish Constabulary, geez, that's a mouthful, sent over by Winston Churchill from Belfast, where he is sent to clean up the city from the Irish Republic Army, the IRA, communist, gangs, and other common criminals. At the time of writing this, you can watch all 5 seasons on Netflix. Peaky Blinders Mastermind is a down-to-earth stealth action puzzle game based on the multi-award-winning TV show. You get to pull the strings as Tommy Shelby and his gang as they seek to take control of the streets of Birmingham in the early 20th century. Set right before the events of the first season, Mastermind will see you join the Shelby family as they discover a plot to put Tommy out of business. The game taps directly into Tommy's talent for planning complex scenarios in his head, allowing you to execute intricate strategies by taking control of key members of the Shelby family down on the ground. It isn't really until Mission 4 that you get a taste of the complex systems that the game has in store for you. Mission 4 requires you to choreograph 3 characters, Ada, Arthur, and John, to get through the level and its puzzles, often having to work in tandem or timing things right so you can pass cleanly. By Mission 10, you have to use all that knowledge you've built up to direct every single member to success. Each character has a skill or an action that only they can do in a given mission, be it John, who uses lanterns to burn down walls, or Arthur to kick down doors and beat up bad guys, to Tommy, who can convince just about anybody to help the family, and Polly, the lock-picking, bribing, no-nonsense lady. Everyone has a skill and needs to help the others. There's never a character that feels unnecessary or underused. Masterminds has a fixed 3D isometric camera, and even though the camera can be moved left, right, up, and down, it cannot be rotated, which, while not my favorite, you guys know I have big issues with cameras sometimes, the angle isn't off-putting here. There's no intense combat. Actually, there's really no combat. It's telling Arthur or John sometimes to go beat up that person, letting the action play and moving on. But the game is well designed. With clean views, the puzzles are nice and straightforward. It means you don't need to rotate the camera. This is more of a stealth puzzle game than an action game, and it looks and feels like unquestionably Great War England. After the Great War England, I should say. From the beautifully hand-drawn cutscenes to the cutscene stills to the carefully constructed levels that just takes you to an era long gone. It feels like a toned-down, combat-free version of Assassin's Creed Syndicate if it was like an isometric view, which is always a good thing in my books. Y'all know I love Assassin's Creed. Peaky Blinders is based on a time system, if that makes sense. Gameplay runs on the top with a timer and action bar on the bottom. It allows you to rewind time, scrub through timelines to set up one character's actions, while you then can take control of another character while they're carrying out the previous actions, and that's how you finish the puzzles. It's a unique system, something I haven't seen very often. I've seen the rewind thing. Forza does that, seen it, but I've never seen it paired with a time bar kind of thing you get here. It can be a bit tedious at times, like moving a bunch of the characters to one location, like at the end of the first section of chapter 10, but it happens so infrequently that it's only a minor annoyance. There's nothing overly hard, or at least hard in the standard mode, which is what I played. Some puzzles are some good head scratchers for a few minutes, but with the rewind and restart on your side, you never feel like you're in a hurry or feeling rushed to finish something. The only hard part can be finding the collectible pocket watches in each level, and they can be easily overlooked and missed. The reset level was used a fair few times in my playthrough, which it never felt punishing. I wish there was a way to go through the action or time bar, whatever you want to call it, and cancel actions kind of like Sims, but this does allow for some great replayability to go through the game, find all the pocket watches, lower your times, try to get all golds. If you've never watched the show, it might be a bit confusing who everybody is right off the bat, but I feel like the game does a good job of familiarizing the characters. I gotta say, I've never watched Peaky Blinders. I've heard good things about it, but I think I might watch it after this. This is making me want to give it a shot. My big complaint, and I know I've had some small annoyances, my big complaint is this game is just really short. Like, most missions take 30 minutes to about 60 minutes, depending on your puzzle solving skills and if you need to reset and all that. But that's it. And there's only like 10 levels, missions, whatever you'd like to call them, chapters. It's a short game. Just when I felt myself fighting for these characters and getting to know them and diving into their world, it was over. Which is a great setup for the TV show. It leads you right into it. I don't know if there's DLC planned, but I wouldn't mind more gameplay here. Little information time. Peaky Blinders was a real gang that operated in Birmingham, England at the end of the 19th century after the First World War. The Blinders, which grew out of harsh economic deprivations of the working class in Britain, were composed largely of young men of lower and middle class families. They derived social power from, robbery, violence, racketeering, illegal bookmaking, and controlling of gambling. Members of the gang wore their signature outfits, which included tailor jackets, lapel overcoats, button waistcoats, silk scarves, bell-bottom trousers, leather boots, and peaked flat caps. So, if that's piqued your interest, give Peaky Blinders Mastermind a chance. It's a quick, puzzle-filled game to introduce you to the world of the award-winning show. Find it on Steam right now.